Alright, hi guys, time for another lazy video. I call them lazy videos because I could literally just grab my camera and just film on some of the stuff that I work with on a day-to-day basis. Now, I know that the Ender 3 gets a lot of hate, and they're like, oh, it's a stupid printer and it doesn't work great. Let me show you my Ender 3 first of all. Those are my other printers, by the way. This CR10, by the way, I'm just getting ready to install my other mods, which there's a buck converter there from 24 to 12 for the light rail installed here, and then this is for the Raspberry Pi for Clipper. This is my Chiron, whatever the hell you want to call it. The software and system in it is kind of dated, not great. So I've actually ordered from Big Tree Tech, or Big Q, or whatever the hell they call themselves, the new header head and a BTT Manta E3 Easy, something like that, board for this thing with the CB2 Pi substitute, so I can basically just completely upgrade this thing to a very large format printer. It's going to be awesome. So let me show you what I did to my Ender 3. First of all, that's my camera mount, so I can see what's going on over here. I've been using these Anker C200s for my cameras, and as you can see, I relocated the camera actually over here to the CR10. Focus. Okay, so the CR10, because that's where this Ender 3 usually lives. Okay, so first of all, I have put the linear x-axis on it. I didn't see the point of doing the z-axis because it doesn't move that fast ever. So the linear x-axis actually made a big difference. I should actually do a linear y-axis, but I haven't done that yet, and I still need to shift this piece of 2020 forward slightly to compensate for this. Now, what else have I done? I've got my Raspberry Pi 4 right here. Let me get some more light on this. That might be better. So I've got my Raspberry Pi here for a clipper. Got my 24 volt to 5 volt DC to DC converter. This guy has got pretty much stock everything else. Now, something else which I really wanted to focus on is these. Look at these flexible couplers here. What a difference that has made. Plus, I've got the old hams on here so that it allows for the... Come on, can you please just focus? So it allows for the screws to actually, like, move. Can I do this? Come on, just stay focused, you stupid thing. Focus. There we go. So you see how I can move the rod here? And it'll, like, allow it to move in the X or Y axis, but not the Z axis. It's actually, I got these on Amazon. They had poor reviews, but these were actually milled perfectly. I was actually kind of surprised at how well, focus, how well they worked. Sorry about the focus, I'm an idiot. So yeah, as you can see, like, these little additions here have perfected my Z axis. And then this guy here, this allows it again to move on the XY, but only under very, very tight conditions. So I've got the hard plastic inserts rather than the soft silicone. So that has really cleaned up my Z-axis. Yeah, and I'm no expert on this shit. So, yeah. Of course, I've got the anti-abrasion on here. Now, something else which I've done. Let me just carefully, one-handedly... Can I do this? This doesn't have a clipper board in it yet, because I figured if I'm going to be learning how to use the Clipper all-in-one boards, the Manta series from Big Tree Tech, I should start with the printer that I haven't truly got working yet, right? And once I've upgraded this one and I've got it working, I'm probably going to decom this one. I'm going to give it to one of my friends who needs a 3D printer. And then I'm going to do the Manta Easy upgrade on here as well. So that's when I'll jump into this. But this has the Big Tree Tech SKR Mini E3 V3, I think it is, installed in. It's got the TMC 2209s in it. I've also got the, that's just, if you can see that well enough, I should actually put a light on here. Let me turn on my bench light and see if this helps at all. I've got all sorts of production lights. You'd think I'd be smart enough to actually use the bloody things. All right, here we go. So I've got the buck converter here for my light bar that's underneath the X-rail, and it's just a little 24 volt to 12 volt buck. I just kind of hot glued it in there. I left this open because I do intend to actually upgrade to a Manta board for this one as well. But I've also got insulation on the bottom of my my bed, and I'll tell you, I can print it up to 600 millimeters a second on this bloody thing. And it works great. So I don't know what all the hate is about this, but those are the upgrades that I have made. I've also made sure to really... Actually, you know what? I'm going to have to probably adjust that slightly. It feels like it might actually have a little bit of... No, that's just the bed. Or maybe it's on the other side. Yeah, you have to keep these guys dialed in as well. You have to keep your little bogey wheels adjusted so that they're just tight enough that they hug this, but they don't get bound. Because as soon as they bind, they start to suck. There's the LED bars that I've been installing. I just go to the local LED shop and I buy these little extrusions, and I just buy LED strip and stick them inside and run my own wire. Nothing too fancy. And then for the head, I am just using a stock Sprite Pro. And I'm actually just about to upgrade the cooling fan on it to a Noctua. Noctua. And I'm going to basically 3D print the extra venting for it and stick it on here. So, of course, I've got a little bit of snot on the side of here. I'm going to have to heat it up and clean it off a little bit very carefully. But, yeah, and that's still the stock heating element. I haven't upgraded the heating element to a 300 Celsius one yet. And I have got a BL Touch on it, of course. My beloved BL Touch. And something else to make note of on these guys here is I know that a lot of people complain that they have to fiddle with them a lot. A lot of the tools that I use, I've got feeler gauges here, okay? This is basically about the thickness of a piece of paper, a little bit less. It's 0.1 millimeters. So what I'll do is I don't even have to run my auto mesh every time. I do an auto mesh, and then I do my Z-axis calibration and compensation, and then I just click on store settings on here, and then when I reboot the printer for another printing session, if I haven't touched the printer since the last print, I simply load settings. I go to the load settings menu, load settings, and it's already working. It works perfectly every time. Now, another thing that really helps a lot, and you know what, the professionals and purists are going to crap on me for doing this, but look, okay, I'm not perfect. I'm not a professional by any stretch. I'm a prototyper, but I go to the dollar store and I buy these cans of Tresemme, whatever the hell you call it, hairspray. It's the same stuff that Robert Smith uses, the king of goth. If you ever watch The Mighty Boosh, you can throw a samosa in the air and this thing will stop it and defy gravity. So yeah, I've been using this stuff here, and I just give it a light dusting before I print. And in fact, because I'm not printing right now, I'll just give it a light dusting right now. La 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 la. What's this? Doop doop. Just like that. On my PEI plate. Not even that thick. Okay? And I literally just washed this plate today. But you just throw a dusting on it and it works amazing. It's incredible the difference that makes for adhesion, bed adhesion. And it doesn't really affect the prints that much, and you can wipe it off with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. I literally just threw this into a bath of laundry detergent today and gave it a nice little flush, and it's running great. But yeah, going over to my CR10. This is a fairly stock CR10. I'm actually running it technically like an Ender 3. There was a gentleman on YouTube who made some custom firmware for the 427 board for the Ender 3, so I can use a DWI-C HD display for this. So I did that, and I followed his instructions to the T. And this one does, of course, have the little silicone feety things on the, instead of springs. All of my printers do. I didn't mention that on the Ender 3, but all of them have the little silicone bushings in there. Yes, this is a mess, and I'm not proud of that, but I literally just jam all the stuff in there and print with it. Do as I say, not as I do, as they would say. These two printers are fully functional right now. They've got the lights working on them, and of course, this is basically just a 350mm Ender 3, but this one's the one that I really, really want, because there's a lot of big things I want to print. One of them being Aiden Aerospace has got a 300mm electronic ducted fan I want to print for screwing around with. Maybe next winter I can go out on the lake with a couple of them and just rip. And of course, this build plate is 450 by 450. It's massive. And a lot of people will also crap on the Chiron, but why? I mean, this is the cool thing about not buying a Bamboo Labs or a Creality or any of those other ones that are like pre-built and like, you know, like the really expensive printers is because, one, for me, I'm learning how these guys work, okay? I've been learning how these CNC machines work, basically, which allows me a little bit more insight as to how to troubleshoot them. So if I ever have problems with printing or issues on other CNC devices, it's really easy for me to just, oh, I know what that problem is. I can fix that, right? And also with these ones, they do also take a bit of tinkering to get them done for the first go. And then after you've got all the hardware modifications, you can just let them continuously run. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention the timing wheel. So I do still have, the timing belt here, which synchronizes my 2Z axis on here. Sorry, let me turn this around. ADHD brain. If there's any normies watching this, you'll get a little bit of insight into how the ADHD brain works. So yeah, I've watched tutorials, by the way, about the old hams and just not having anything on top. But I did actually put the retainers on the top, and I'm still using my timing belt, and the timing belt is properly synced. That's the first thing I did before I reprinted. And I'm telling you that the Z-axis is perfect on this guy now. But yeah, going back to these guys. This guy prints really fast as well. The fastest of pushes is about 450. And yeah, no problems. Same thing on this one. It's got the timing belt up at the top. This one does not have a timing belt. I'm going to try it without the timing belt and try to integrate these little optical path sensors on it with the BTT board and see if I can get to recalibrate the 2Z axis when it starts up again. So this is going to be kind of experimental, but anyway, I digress. Going back to things, these are my printers. No, this is not telecom related. Why is it not telecom related? Because there's a lot more stuff that I do outside of just standard routing and switching. I do prototyping. I also build stuff for people. I help people with product designs. I mean, there's tons of stuff that I have to do that encompasses my job, including, I do off-grid systems as well for telecom sites and for other purposes as well, where people need standby power systems or completely off-grid systems. There's a lot of stuff that's involved in the systems engineering that I actually commit or work on, I should say. So, yeah, that's basically that. Give me a second, I'll put my Ender 3 right back where it belongs. I literally pulled it off just for you guys today so that I could actually show you a full 360 view of it, but she lives right here. This is her home. Right here. I'm going to put the power cord back in quickly so I don't forget it, because I do need to print something for a friend. He actually needs a little Hot Wheels table clamp. But, yeah, there it is. There is my beautiful Ender 3 back in her home. It's a great printer. I won't denounce it. And let me go back to that thought that I had before, now that it's come back in my head. Is that I'm not crapping on the high-end, the $1,000 plus printers that you buy, they're in enclosures or whatnot. But I've noticed more and more that people running those printers run into the most problems. And I think it's because they've got something that does a lot of the work for them, and they've never actually committed to building or customizing or modifying their own 3D printers. So they're a little bit more... sorry, I should say they're lacking in a little bit more of the skill sets and finer nuances necessary to actually take advantage of 3D printers. And when I see people say, this printer's garbage and it doesn't work, it's like, no, you're just giving up. Seriously, just don't be down on yourself. Don't crap on the machine. Just spend a little bit of time and find out what's wrong and rebuild it. Just be positive, you know? Just like my hero, Mehdi. He's such a wonderful dude. I mean, there's lots of great dudes out there that will inspire you positively. So if you've got a giant printer or a printer that's acting up, don't shit on it. Just learn how it works. And with some logical modifications to things, some well thought out modifications, you can make any printer into an incredible one. Super fast, super reliable. And yeah, you don't have to worry about fiddling with things. Once you've got things tuned in, if know how to use them, like on the Marin firmware. You have to store your settings when you're done with your calibrations, and then load them every time you reboot. They don't automatically, persistently reload. I don't know why Marlin doesn't do that. So there you go. There's my rant. There's my spiel. I hope that this stuff here was beneficial to you guys. And yeah, there's my god-awful mess that I'm sorting through right now. So yeah, I hope that you found this lazy content helpful. I hope that it helps somebody. It's a lot quicker for me to get out because I can literally just pick up my camera and just hold my camera up and record. And yeah, if you have any questions, by all means, let me know. I will be going back to some more like microtik content and some more telecommunications content. It's just, again, I've got to get my motivation back up, my drive. I've been sleeping a lot, and I just don't want to do anything. So this is quick and easy for me to get it out there. Anyway, also, if any of you guys are struggling with sleeping all the time and no motivation or drive or energy, just, there's something going around. All right, big hugs, everyone. We'll catch you later. Bye.